My challenge for you all this week is I want you to take some time, because I know you have it. Now is the best time to fuel the youth and the creativity and the curiosity in us that we may or may not be able to really explore when we're in the humdrum of our daily lives.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to We Lift Big. I am your host, Bria Gabor, personal trainer, video podcast personality, and award-winning performer. My mission is to educate, entertain, and enact a stronger, happier you. Because when we put in the work to achieve habits for lifelong health and self-love, we open ourselves to the amazing opportunities that come with a life well lived. New content coming out weekly, so I need you to get up, fasten your shoes, and lift big.
Heyo, what's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in and for listening. We are about 2.5 weeks into being locked inside of our houses, and I think for the most part, I am finally starting to find a routine for my days. Last week was definitely a bit harder for me. I am not a homebody being cooped up in my house alone. It has been a lot for me to adjust to. I love people, and so it's been interesting. For anyone who follows me on Instagram, I will be recording and sharing many of my workouts on there, as well as YouTube. And so be on the lookout for those if you are looking for ways to move your body. Really, the purpose of them is to give you all ideas, ways to move, and keep getting stronger through this whole quarantine. My mission in my work is to inspire movement, encourage healthy habits, create positive change, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And being locked in my house, nothing has changed. It is still my mission to get people moving, to get people thinking. So last week, or I guess 2 weeks ago now, my podcast that I posted focused on 3 rules to keep yourself healthy, in routine, and connected. Now, there is more than a few ways that we can make the most of our time right now. Ways that go beyond physical movement, eating well, proper rest, hydration. There are so many other outlets that are part of what make a good life and a fulfilling life and a healthy life. And in order for us to stay healthy and to stay sane, especially during this time in our lives, we can't just focus on the physical elements of our movement. We can't just focus on rest and hydration, and we have to look at the bigger picture. I had a fantastic conversation with one of my dear friends over the phone the other day, and gosh, if he's listening, you know who you are. And I want to share some of the stuff that we talked about. And so he had listened to, I believe, a scripture that in summary talked about the following. We experience trials in life. We could not predict the craziness that is in our lives right now, but this is the biggest example that tomorrow is not guaranteed. And today, we have been given the strength, the energy to make it through the trials of today. And every time we worry about the future or we let the past control us, we are weakening that energy. Today's strength is designed for today. And again, when we worry about the past, when we worry about the future, we are taking today's energy and we are giving it away to things that are out of our control. And so when it comes to using our strengths, 1 to 2 of those hours in a day may be devoted to movement. 1 to 2 hours may be devoted to feeding yourself. We know everyone needs 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night, but that still leaves so many other hours in the day to nourish ourselves in ways that aren't the typical well-known ways. And I think right now, these are the things that are going to keep us the healthiest, that are going to keep us the most sane. It's about discovering what those things are. My challenge for you all this week is I want you to take some time, because I know you have it. Now is the best time to fuel the youth and the creativity and the curiosity in us that we may or may not be able to really explore when we're in the humdrum of our daily lives. Here's a few things that I want you to do. And so the first thing that I want you guys to do is acknowledge where you are at right now, because understanding the grieving process, there are 5 stages of grief. There is denial, there is anger, there is bargaining, there is depression, and there is acceptance. I would say that everyone has in some way gone through the 5 stages of grief. If you are feeling that right now, I want you to acknowledge where you're at. Are you still in denial? Are you angry? Are you sad, upset, depressed? Have you accepted where you are at right now? And wherever you are at on that journey, your goal is to get to acceptance. And so these next things that I'm going to talk about will help you come to acceptance. And if you are at acceptance, then these are things that will help you explore the time that you have and continue to grow in ways that we are not always able to grow otherwise, simply because we're just never able to find or make the time. Grab yourself a pen and paper, because I want you to write these down. Take a note in your phone, pause, whatever you need. What are 3 things you have always wanted to learn? What are 3 lessons, 3 topics that you have always wanted to explore? Have you ever wanted to learn a language? Have you ever wanted to dive into a certain point in history? Have you ever wanted to get a certification? The next thing is 3 things you've always wanted to try. Have you ever wanted to practice your handstands? Have you ever wanted to get more flexible? Have you ever wanted to build something or know how to build something? The last set of 3 things is, who or what are 3 people or outlets that you've always wanted to connect with? Because I know that I have people in my life that I just wish I stayed in better touch with. And I'm talking to people who I haven't spoken to in years, and just have the blessing that I have people who in my life who I can talk to, and it's like we just talked yesterday. And so just to recap on these 9 things, again, I hope you're writing them down. What are 3 things that you've always wanted to learn? What are 3 things that you've always wanted to try? And who or what are 3 people or outlets that you've always wanted to grow a deeper connection with? And give each one a couple hours in your week. It is an insane place and time to be alive in a lot of different ways. This is also an opportunity for us to dig deeper into ourselves and to do and learn and connect with things that we would not have the opportunity to do otherwise. And when we allow ourselves to try new things, learn new things, connect with people we've always wanted to connect with, these things are just as fundamental to our growth and our health as exercise, as rest. And that is my encouragement for all of you. And so I would love to stay engaged with you all as you guys try this. And so let me know what your things are. And just explore them, give them a shot. It doesn't have to look any particular way. You don't have to master these things before life hopefully starts to get back to normal, but just allow yourself, encourage yourself to explore. And I'd love to hear what you all come up with. And so thank you so much for tuning in, and I will talk to you guys soon. Peace.